Two Brewers Yukon Single Malt Whisky Release 24. Should you grab this one? Stay tuned for the Whiskey Whistle. Good day, my whiskey people. Mark here from WhiskyWhistle on YouTube, sharing a little whiskey awesomeness from Winnipeg, the center of North America, bringing you Two Brewers Release 24, the 2021 WhiskyWhistle Whiskey of the Year for the category of Canadian Single Malt. It's 11 years old. It's age stated. It's right there on the bottle. It's also unchill filtered and it's natural in color. And what a nice dark color that is. I believe that has a lot of virgin oak going on there. That's sort of the theme, though they do mention varied barreling. So I wonder what else has happened to that malt since it was first distilled back in, 2009, because this came out in 2020. So anyway, we'll get into that. We'll check out the color of the whiskey, the legs of the whiskey, then the nose, the palate, the finish, neat with water, and then give it a Whiskey Whistle whiskey score. If you've tried this and you want to share your thoughts, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, all right? And while we're talking, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, ding ding, so you're notified of future Whiskey Whistles. And why not join the Whiskey Whistle crew on Patreon, patreon.com/WhiskyWhistle. You get your name in the credits. You'll get advanced viewing of future Whiskey Whistles. You'll also get a Whiskey Whistle Glencairn glass once you've reached, I guess, 3 months of support for the channel. All right, so check that out, please. So the color, a nice dark coppery tone, and it's refreshing that that's natural in color, as all Two Brewers are. This, by the way, is made at a distillery called Yukon Spirits, which is the sister company to Yukon Brewing. This company started brewing way before it started distilling, which is very refreshing. So on to the legs. Let's check the legs out. Pretty slow first legs, actually. And the secondary legs have just barely begun, but very trickly and attractive, very attractive legs. And I wonder if it's that effect of virgin oak that's making this just so slow. The nose. We have a mixture of cola and root beer. We have lots of cinnamon. We have some nutmeg. A big dollop of vanilla coming through as well. Some cedar. And the smell of a nice fire just as it gets starting, and you're still getting that fresh wood scent coming before it actually starts to burn. So I guess what is that? That would be some sap and some moisture that's still in the wood that's beginning to waft into the air, into the vicinity of wherever you are. Lots of interesting root beer here. Okay, onto the palate. Cheers, folks. Big cola and root beer. The finish has this really, really big, ramped up umami note that you get from Two Brewers that's presenting itself here as straight up root beer syrup. The finish is insanely long, very malty, very sweet, very root beer-esque, lots of vanilla, just a little squeeze of lime in there. Very syrupy mouthfeel. Very, very rich. Some cinnamon in there, a little bit spiced. Some chocolate coming through everywhere here. The darkly toasted bread for sure. And then this big old root beer. And sweet, almost like sweet licorice coming through on the finish. Let's add some water. This is 58%, but it's actually very, very sippable. And I think that's the fresh oak that's going on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 12 drops. Almost 1 milliliter of water added. And a quick shout out to my buddy Whiskey in the Six. Hey Rob, I think hopefully you've got a bottle of that by now. I'd love to see your review of this one. So make sure you share that. I know that I've been all about Two Brewers over the years, and it's a shame that you're just getting into that now. And I think you'll be sent down a nice rabbit hole, I do think. Cheers. With water, it becomes drier. With some ginger. And more straight up, nice toasty oak. And when I think of this nose, I think, wow, this is like a very high malt bourbon nose. And when you think about the age, 11 years old, you put that on a label and call it bourbon, and it's going to be quite expensive. Now, this one was like $170-ish in Alberta. Quite a bit more. The typical releases are $80 to $100, whether you're in Alberta or BC or in Quebec, where they've so far released whiskeys. But you're getting something older that's at least 3-4 years older than most of their releases for their top age. And it's also cask strength, so that's 2 ways in which this becomes a very expensive bottle. The third way is that it's small batch with only 248 bottles, so they had to make that that label just for this bottle. Okay, onto the palate. A little bit of leather coming through here. Nice, nice. With water, you're adding some cherry. It becomes a little bit more bourbon-like. And the same amount of cola and root beer is still there. Really enjoyable, really delicious. And I'm so happy to be able to try release 24, which is, I want to say, my 19th release. And this review may actually come up before release 22 and 23, which is pre-recorded, but it's in the archives there. And I'll get that. I'll try to get them out roughly around the same time. But having tried this since release number 3, Two Brewers, and I think I've had 3 through 24. Maybe I missed 1 or 2 in there. But this is just outstanding. Now, it may not appeal to someone who's looking for something sherried or ex-bourbon matured, but if you want to try a single malt that is hyped up, ramped up with virgin oak, this is definitely one to try. Beautiful. On to the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Two Brewers. Yukon Single Malt Release 24. Preemptive malt hug. And a kiss. Beautiful. So nice. On to the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score. What's that going to be, folks? It's going to be 93 out of 100. You heard it. 93 out of 100 is the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Two Brewers Release 24 Classic Single Cask. Get one if you can. Probably they're sold out, but you may be able to find one from a friend. So ask around and see if you can grab one, okay? And just watch. There'll be more like this coming out for sure. They've got the casks, I swear. They've got lots of casks aging in their warehouse. So hopefully we'll see more. Bob and Al, cheers, guys. And Dave Gardner, always a pleasure talking to you. All right, take care, folks. My name is Mark. We'll see you for the next one. Bye now.